Hello and welcome to Deliberately Creative. I'm Stephanie from Deliberately Creative, and I'm here to welcome you to episode 6 of my Doodle Gem Series. This is really exciting. People have really been enjoying these different gems and stones that I've been coming up with. I have been making a list from comments of all of the different stones people have been asking for. So there's several more episodes that are going to be coming up that will be stones that people have requested. This one is Rhodocrosite, and this particular style of it is from a slab of a stalactite. Stalactites being stone that grows from the ceiling, and it's made by water dripping down from the ceiling and depositing bits of minerals. And as millennia go by, minerals form and grow these stone pillars, basically. And by chance, somebody found out that if you broke it open and sliced it off, you could have these really pretty stones. I have this really pretty doodled frame here, and I will be doing some videos where I show how I doodle these frames. It's sort of mandala, sort of a Zentangle, sort of just doodling. A lot of fun, and I enjoy doing them. And since I've had enough people ask for me to go ahead and do it on camera, next time I do my doodling, I am going to try and remember to film it. Starting off here, we're just going to jump right in. Episode 6. I can't believe it. Episode 6 already. So this one, I think maybe I'm going to make it so it's got 2 spots in it instead of just one. Now this pencil is Creme PC 914 Prismacolor, and I'll just name off the different colors as I use them. There was a little bit of a pink on here from the last time I drew a stone, and that's okay because I'm using pink. I'm going to be using pink. Lots of different ones. All right, so I'm just putting in the center dot, and then I'm going to make a circle, sort of a roughly circle. I'm going to be blending these colors across and pulling and pushing them around. So these circles don't have to be perfect. They don't have to have totally solid connections. I'm going to have one go off that way. This one is going to meet up to it. Yeah, maybe there's going to be another one over here. And maybe another one here. I'm going to do 4. That's what I'll do. Now the lines don't have to be close together. They don't have to be spaced exactly the same. Some might have more circles, because what happened was one of these little circle spots started out growing, another one started out growing, where minerals were being deposited along the outsides, and eventually multiple ones grew together. And so then you ended up with one stone that had multiple cores. Pretty cool. It's always exciting to find out about these types of things. So the stalactite kind are found in Argentina. I don't know if this is the kind that's found in Colorado, but I do know that Rhodochrosite is the state gem of Colorado. Pretty cool. All right, so let me pull out the rest of my colors here. Just get them sitting over to the side. Back here, lovely pencil. pencil. All right, so now I've got Rose PC 29. These are all Prismacolor Premieres. I'm going to just get this sort of swirly in. It's not a science. This is art, remember? And just because I gave you a little bit of information about these stones doesn't mean it's science class, and it wasn't geology or geology class. Let's see, we're going around that way. And right now these bands look a little sketchy. That's okay. Remember, I always work in multiple layers. The nice thing about this, I wanted to use the Prismacolors on this because they are so soft, and I'll be able to push the colors around with my Colorless Blender. I will be using Colorless Blender. I will be using a white colored pencil. So remember, this is just my base coats. I just want to get all of the inside of this stone area colored in with a base coat of color. I'm going to be taking other colors, other pinks, and keeping it all pretty much to the pink and a little bit of a touch of purple, maybe a touch of white and this cream. And by doing that, it's going to be this really pretty, soft, almost like roses, almost like a little rose garden, almost like, well, it is the way it grew. Multiple drips dripping next to each other for years and years and years and years and years. All right. This is going to be a fairly quick one. Nice thing about it is that this particular one is just being made up out of my mind. It's not, this one I'm not actually looking at a picture. I'm just making it up. And you can do that. You can make up your stones. They don't have to have a real counterpart in life. They can just be pretty. Using color, letting your hand just sort of drop down onto the paper, and wherever it drops down is where you stop and you put some color. And then you pick it up and drop it down someplace else and put some more color. There we go. That's getting some pretty stuff going on there. So the minerals that would be in this, depending on what color you ended up with finding, there's magnesium or manganese. And sometimes there's iron and magnesium and calcium and zinc. And they all make different colors. And I do not know what colors all of those different things make. I do know that iron tends to make more green colors, or rusty red colors. But I'm not sure about the other ones. Nope, I'm not even going to guess. I think I need to do some more research. I'm not, I was reading that list off from my friend Google. I have a really good friend named Google. Yep. And the neat thing about it, Google can be your best friend too. And it doesn't matter because it seems that Google never runs out of information. Between Google and YouTube, you pretty much have it covered. Okay, so now what I want to do is grab my Colorless Blender for a minute. I'm going to push this color back and forth, sort of in a ziggy-zag pattern. And it's going to bleed into that yellow cream color and soften up those scratchy lines that I made and sort of blend it together. It ends up looking a little bit, very much like tie-dye actually, not just a little bit. It ends up looking a lot like a tie-dye. And I think that's really kind of cool. Just ziggy zig zag, ziggy zig zag. And if you don't have a colorless blender, use a white or a really pale pink. I have not tried this, getting it to move like this sort of shifting that it's doing here, where it's sort of pulling in and out, where this pulling in and out is going on. I haven't done that with any other color pencils yet to test to see. So if you use another kind of colored pencil for this project, let me know how it goes. Actually, if you could share it in the comments, that would let others know how it goes also. I will say that using softer pencils makes this effect work better than I would think hard pencils would do. Hard pencils, the harder cores like the Faber-Castells, I don't think would shift as much. I don't think that they would pull back and forth as much. I mean, the colors will blend on Faber-Castell, but I'm not convinced that they would push and pull as much as these do. All right, I'm grabbing my Crimson Lake PC 925, and I'm going to drop in some of this color down along by the bezel and bring it up just a little bit. It's a more red color. It's more than a pink or a purple, but it works really well for the shadow. And that way I don't have to bring black in next to my, and muddy my colors up. And I didn't think that my indigo blue, which is what I use for almost every stone, I didn't think that it would pull in as well. I felt like the indigo might turn things too dark and purple colored. So I'm just throwing a few of these little lines in to give some definition. I am going to blend them also. They're just sort of going along and giving some definition around the rings, around those rings. All right, you can tell that I'm getting into my coloring because I'm going quiet. Quieter and quieter. And I know you guys say that you don't mind me talking, but I do know that sometimes quiet is good. quiet makes you, gives you room to think your own thoughts. I don't think I could ever do a totally silent without just turning off the sound. All right, grab my white, get in here and put some of this white in to those empty spaces. Oh, that's looking really pretty. Okay, so now I'm just pulling some of this white across to give sort of a dull gloss. I will put a couple highlights on with the bright white Signo Uniball pen. But this is about as easy as it gets as far as a stone. It doesn't take much. I want to go put just a little bit more detail back in here. Just a little bit. Not a lot. I'm not going to try and color in everything again, because I kind of like this effect where the colors are mushing in together some. They don't have to stand completely on their own. This is a layered stone with multiple layers of pink and purple and red, and it looks kind of like a little bundle of roses. Little bundle of roses. That's what it kind of looks like. All right, I'm going to throw a little bit more of that Crimson Lake in right here, a little harder. I want it to look like it's down inside that bezel, because you know that's something that I like to do. Pull it up just a little bit around the edges. But really hard down in there. I want to give it some good shadow. Deep, deep, deep down in that edge. All right. Just want to clean up around my edge here just a smidge. There we go. Just, you know, I don't really have to, but I kind of am planning on leaving most of this a black and white. There's going to be a little bit of, I think maybe a little bit of a darkening of the line right around the edge of the stone. Ooh, yeah, with this slightly thicker pen like this, that's making it feel a little bit deeper, a little bit shiny. There we go. Round and round. Bring up that spot there. Okay. And then I'm going to do some little tick marks around here. This happens to be an 08. I drew the most of this with an 01. But the 08 gives me a little bit fatter line. And this is just sort of giving a little bit of texture to that bezel and maybe a little bit of interest. It was looking a little boring. Okay. So there we go. That's Rhodocrosite. I need to put my shinies on. Get those shiny spots. Whoops. Just let's see here. How do I want this? This way? I think so. This way. And then it's going to have a shiny spot up here because that's where the light's shining on it. And then kind of a shine around this edge. And I think it's actually going to end up with this little shooting line going across just a bit. And maybe, no, don't like that one. Yep, not liking that either. So here, you're going to see me fix this. Boom. While it's wet, you can just rub it off with your finger. When it's dry, you can just scrape it off the top of the wax with your fingernail. I'm just trying to get just a little bit more. Again, this is a Rhodocrosite. It is not, this one is not a translucent stone. It is not a transparent stone. The only reflections or light that you have on it are reflections from other lights. It does not shoot light through, so it's just the shine and gloss over the top. And there you go. If you like this video, I would love it if you would click on the like button, leave a comment, let me know what you thought. If you like this video, if you have suggestions for things that you would like to see me do, and if you have any suggestions on ways to make this better, I would appreciate it. The last thing is, if you're not a subscriber, I'd love it for you to subscribe. By subscribing, you'll be able to get notifications when I have new episodes. It makes it easier for you. You don't have to go searching for them. They just show up in your notifications. I hope you enjoyed this. Remember, get out and do something creative. Take care.